From the obsessive boxing country of Mexico, this man elevates his country's reputation in the ring. This is a man not only the boxing head should know, but the entire world. And while many know this gladiator, do they know it all? Do you know the hidden secret behind this Mexican star's dominance in the ring? Canelo Alvarez is a champion by all metrics, a giant in the world of one of the greatest sports in mankind. Known for being excellent on the counter and able to dodge the blows of his adversary, Canelo has made his name in the boxing world as one of the best, if not one of the best, to ever do it. Holding multiple championships in 4 different weight classes, even his haters can't dispute his greatness. Let's journey to unveil the secret of his dominance. In 1990, Saul Alvarez was born into a family of 8. As the last born, his family would go on to have deep connections with boxing. All his brothers had a passion for boxing. With distinct features as a redhead, he earned the nickname Canelo, which stands for cinnamon. Among all his brothers, it was evident he had the most promise to make it as a pro. At the age of 13, he was brought into the gym to show his potential. Canelo fought against a boy 4 years older than him, who had trained for years to become a pro. Canelo took to his new sport with ease, overcoming the bigger and more experienced boxer with easy difficulty. This surprised all his trainers, and soon they began to invest heavily in his potential. At just 15 in Mexico, Canelo became a pro. In his first 3 years as a professional fighter in Mexico, he faced bigger and older men. Many saw it as unfair for a kid to be in a ring with bigger people. But by the end of the fight, they all ate their words. All of his 22 fights in Mexico were won. Soon, he found a promoter and went to the United States with a bigger audience. In his first fight, after finding a promoter, he fought against Pinzon, who was 10 years older than him. In just the first round, after dodging a blow, Canelo delivered a nasty counterpunch to his opponent and followed it up with a barrage of blows as Pinzon was boxed on the ropes. Down to the floor, Pinzon went, a first-round knockout. Next up, he fought Yuri Gonzalez for the WBO Latino welterweight title. Gonzalez went on the offensive, looking to assert his dominance early on, but the focused and sharp Canelo dodged and evaded blows gracefully. Soon, it was the calculated Canelo's turn to attack. Young boxers were often known to be too aggressive and erratic, but this was not the case with the Mexican. Canelo didn't waste punches. Patience and perfect timing were a huge strength of his game. In the 11th round, Gonzalez was cornered. This time, Canelo let all hell go loose and bombarded his fellow Latino with punches and combinations that made the referee intervene. Canelo won by technical knockout. The whole arena stood up and clapped in awe of what they had just seen. In 2010, Canelo signed a multi-million-dollar contract with Golden Boy. This skyrocketed his reputation and fame. Soon, fights with big names would start rolling. Shane Mosley was one of the first big names. Alvarez requested to fight Mosley. The experienced Mosley was a great fighter who had won multiple championships in different weight classes. Many believed Canelo was jumping the gun and was far from experienced enough to face battle-tested fighters like this. Mosley was full of confidence. The young Canelo went toe-to-toe with Mosley, showing character and courage. The fight went all 12 rounds, but the judge's decision saw the Mexicans prevail by unanimous decision. Next up was Austin Trout. Trout was motivated as he had his eyes on Canelo's WBC light middleweight title. The undefeated southpaw fighter Austin Trout was at the peak of his powers when he went face-to-face with Canelo. Canelo also had his eyes on the WBA title that belonged to Trout, but also to prove he could take on absolutely anybody. Trout went on the offensive and often cornered Canelo, but this didn't yield any fruit for Trout. Canelo was as slippery as a snake, as we evaded all blows easily. His head and upper body movements were utterly remarkable. The fans were in awe. In the 7th round, a powerful straight right from Canelo saw Trout fall to the ground clumsily. This was the first knockdown Trout had suffered. The Mexicans emerged victorious by a unanimous decision. This was Canelo's 43rd win of his career, as he remained undefeated. In high-flying form at the young age of 20, the ambitious Canelo wanted to fight and beat the best of the best, so his team of his father and family requested to fight Mayweather. At the time, Mayweather was the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. He was the money, unstoppable and unbeatable. The fight was heavily anticipated. The arena was packed with celebrities from all over the globe. Some believed the flaws in Mayweather's game could be exploited by Canelo. The fight saw each boxer at their best. Canelo was aggressive, but the magician Mayweather was always a step ahead, moving past attacks. Both fighters were too formidable for a knockout victory to be achieved. The fight lasted all rounds. Mayweather was too experienced and seasoned for the young Canelo. Mayweather won by a majority decision. This was Canelo's first loss as a professional. Canelo looked to bounce back from his recent defeat, and his next victim was a compatriot, Alfredo Angulo. The relentless and quick Canelo was on full display against Angulo. Throwing great combinations, he dominated the ring. In the sixth round, an uppercut from Canelo saw the left eye of Angulo bleed and swell. After subsequent beatings in the following rounds, the referee intervened for the helpless Angulo, and Alvarez won by technical knockout. A chatty and notorious Kirkland was the next opponent for Canelo.
I know he's gonna move, but the point is, how long can you move the way I'm coming?
In the proceedings, Kirkland boasted. What Kirkland didn't know was that his boxing career would end in the third round after multiple knockdowns against the Mexican's might. Canelo went around winning titles and defending them convincingly. His next big challenge came against Amir Khan. Khan moved up 2 divisions just to face Canelo. Khan was known for his incredible speed in the ring. Many believed Khan had what he took to upset Canelo. Would he, though? In the 6th round, a devastating right hand from Canelo sent Khan to the mat. That was the fight over. Ambitious and looking to take down the best, Canelo called out Golovkin. Initially, Golovkin was reluctant, but eventually he accepted the fight. Canelo was moving up 2 weight classes just for this fight. Many thought him crazy. Golovkin was a multiple champion and one of the best in his division. This fight had the prospect of being one of the biggest fights of the decade. Every single ticket was sold. The early rounds saw Canelo start strong and dominant, but this fight was never going to be easily won. As the fight went on, Golovkin showed why he had a reputation. He showed why he was a champion. The fight ended in a split draw. The judge's decision sparked a lot of controversy. Many believed Golovkin had clearly won. The unsatisfactory result of the fight generated buzz for a rematch. A year later, the rematch was had. This time, Canelo came more prepared and devoted than ever. He didn't just come to win, he came to annihilate his opponent. The ring was a battlefield full of blood and sweat. 2 beasts went neck to neck. Canelo's performance was one of the bravest performances ever put on display. Canelo won the WBO, WBA, and IBO titles as he clinched victory for the 2nd time against Golovkin. The Mexican's dominance in the ring skyrocketed his reputation. Still fairly young, he wanted more success. Seeking challenges beyond the horizon, Canelo jumped weight classes to face the likes of Kovalev and Callum Smith. Both were undefeated when they met Canelo. They were ripped off that status by the flaming Mexican on a mission. Canelo went up divisions, claiming titles. Soon, he settled on being an undisputed super middleweight. To achieve this, he would have to take down world champion Billy Joe Saunders. Saunders was undefeated and known to be a thorough entertainer. He was a boxer of remarkable reflexes, and he often toyed with his adversaries, provoking them. The fight broke the record for boxing attendance in an indoor facility, with over 70,000 people present. The fight started conservatively. Both boxers were weary of each other's strength. Saunders began with frequent jabs that proved to be effective. Canelo began to close the distance between them to rattle Saunders' defense and nullify the jabs. Before the fight, Canelo and his team promised to take Saunders out between the 7th and 9th rounds. And so the 8th round came. After gracefully dodging a blow from Saunders, a devastating right hand to the face saw the British man with a swollen eye. From there, Canelo dominated until the end of the bell. When both parties went for the break, Saunders' team threw in the towel. That devastating blow had caused Saunders an orbital fracture. With 3 of the Big 4 titles, a win against Caleb Plant would cement him as the undisputed super middleweight champion. A trilogy conclusion to the rivalry with Golovkin came in 2022. Years later, Golovkin still had nothing against him. This time, Canelo won by a unanimous decision to end the rivalry once and for all. Today, Canelo remains the undisputed champion of the super middleweight division. Many know the name Canelo Alvarez superficially, but what they don't know is what powers his success and dominance in the boxing world. Backed and managed by his family, he carries not only his family's legacy, but also his country's legacy. The Mexican superstar is fiercely passionate about boxing and isn't just here for fame and money. This is the true secret behind his dominance: the fight for passion and legacy. Saul Canelo Alvarez. Thanks for watching our video today. If you liked the video, please subscribe for the hottest boxing content out here. We have more boxing videos coming your way, so be on the lookout.